I think there was always concerns about, it being too early because, he'd come back after 2.5 years out the ring, after two relatively, sparring matches, and then he's jumping straight in for the WBC crown against probably the hardest hitting puncher that's ever been. But, did we all believe in him? 100%, yeah. I think that was the key thing from in the fight. He believed in himself mentally so much, and that was all he needed because the skill has never been an issue. And when Tyson believes in himself, it's very hard for him not to do whatever he's going to say he's going to do. I wasn't surprised at his performance early on in the fight because we all knew Tyson is 1,000 times better boxer than Deontay Wilder is. And Deontay Wilder poses, very little boxing threat. The only thing that he does pose is quite a big threat. It's that one right hand that can end it all. But we knew if he'd stay away from that, then the fight was his. When he got knocked down, it wasn't really, he wasn't really thinking about the fight and winning it in like a boxing sense. He was more worried about his health and well-being because obviously Wilder is, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest hitters that's ever been. So at that point, you were just hoping that everything was okay, faculty-wise and everything like that. You didn't really worry about a boxing match. But when he got up and, I've never seen anything like that in boxing. And even looking back at old fights and everything in boxing, I've never seen anyone do that. Especially coming from 2.5 years out the ring, losing 10 stone and getting up in the 12th round as well. When you're already tired and you're already done. It's never been done before, and I don't think it will ever be done ever again. So, it just shows what heart he's got. Character, comes around every 100 years. And I don't think, that what he did in that 12th round, it can't be taught, it can't be, it can't be equalled. It's about what's inside you. And Tyson is a unique character, and there's nobody else like him. And that's why people like that come around every so often. He's just a special human being. He's got a heart of a lion, and he will not be denied. A draw was always inevitable because these guys are probably the two best heavyweights in the world, and if they can have a shot at making the money twice over, they're going to do it, and especially in America. So the draw was what it was. We all know who won that fight. It's very clear to everybody in the public who won that fight. So it is what it is. It's boxing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's all based off the fighter and Tyson being so calm in the dressing room and like he's going to go out for tea. It just makes us all, feel that much, calmer in ourselves. Because obviously if someone's stressed out themselves, you're going to get stressed out. But if someone's calm, you feel calm. So it was a nice aura in the change room before we went out. And yeah, it's just normal Tyson, normal day at the office. Wilder and his ring walk outfit was just, it was ridiculous, wasn't it? It was more of a showmanship or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. He had more lights on a Christmas tree than him. But I don't know, it's Deontay Wilder, isn't it? It was like Tyson fighting me. That's how dominant it was. It was like Tyson fighting a child. It was what it was, wasn't it? It was, a complete shutout, a complete one-sided victory. And that's exactly what Tyson said he was going to do, If Deontay Wilder couldn't beat Tyson convincingly or knock him spark out or all these things in the first fight that they had, after he'd had all that time out, lost all that weight, he definitely wasn't going to beat him the second time after Tyson's been sparring, been active, had a hard fight, had another training camp. He wasn't going to beat him then. And I knew all along that was how the fight was going to play out. There wasn't a doubt in my mind at that second fight that Wilder was even going to get a look in, and he never. Well, it's probably, in my opinion, the biggest sporting comeback in history. If only, you'd seen Tyson at that low point, knowing what he was going through and, everything that he had been through and suffered, drugs, alcohol abuse, everything, and to come back and now be, again, the best heavyweight in the world, the WBC lineal heavyweight champion, coming back from all that, it's crazy. Like, boxing's a very, very hard game, and to have it all, lose it all, and then win it back again, it's crazy, and only Tyson could do it. Yeah, very proud, very proud. It doesn't get any better as a moment, having, a brother there who's conquered the entire world twice over, and doing everything that you look to do and want to do. It's motivation, it's proudness, it's everything rolled into one. There was no better buzz than that night. Regaining it all back again and sitting back on that throne where he belongs. I think all that's going to happen in Fury Wilder 3, I think you're going to see Deontay Wilder come out, he's going to be throwing a million punches around for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And I think after that, it's just going to be like it was in the second fight. I feel like after Wilder's spent whatever he's throwing and he hasn't got any more left, you're going to see Tyson come on very strong, and you're definitely going to see a stoppage again. because Tyson's a big, strong fella. Deontay Wilder is what he is. He's not the biggest heavyweights, but again, you don't need to be dangerous. But I think you're going to see Wilder come out like Erasmus has in the first few rounds, and then Tyson's going to pile the pressure on and stop him again, because once you've got somebody's number and you've beat him, twice over like he has done, it's very hard to get rid of that number.
When that bell rings, it's going to be a war.